Welcome back to the table with Finding a Tori. We are so excited to have you here today. This is Arcadia, and I am in the studio with a full table here. We've got Malcolm.
We've got a mean game of Foursquare if we wanted to play one.
It's true, dude.
Properly
It's
positioned
absolutely true.
for
Right?
for
Oh, here we
those that
go.
remember the seriousness of Foursquare. Hi. Welcome back.
Hi.
We've got Jess
Hello.
and Tori.
What up?
What up?
What
is
up?
up?
So we're going to have a fun conversation today, I think. Excited to
Oh.
dive into it. But I think first and foremost, we need to have
Bonuses for Malcolm.
a roll initiative.
Oh, what? What it was?
Bonuses for Tori, too.
I was going to say, somebody was stingy last episode.
Dick.
Oh, I'm gonna
It's going to be that
Sorry.
type of episode.
I'm gonna give Tori +2.
Cool.
She was not the one who was stingy with the bonuses last time.
And
Wow.
I'm gonna. I don't
The
see.
podcast table is covered with receipts, apparently, because people are keeping them. Jesus.
I
Just me.
don't see the experience there for the bonuses for Malcolm.
Okay, so just blatant retribution. Just
No,
I mean, what do they
that
call
I
that?
am trying to.
I'm
be
not even the one
completely
handing
fair
them
in
out.
that assessment.
It's called justice. That's
know
what
what?
it's called.
I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
I'm okay there. Are you sure you're just two?
2.
Okay, all right. When you're ready. Just two. Just two.
Just 2.
You sure it's two? It's 2.
8, which means 10.
Does 8 mean 10?
8 means 10.
We mathed.
And that's THAC0. Okay.
Oh, my
All right,
God.
guys,
8
8 is 10.
THAC0?
Oh my gosh, we could do an entire episode trying to explain THAC0 to people.
Hey, what's your worst played episode, guy? Well, we
2
had
hit armor class
one
0.
when we did THAC0, and everybody turned it off before they could. Yeah.
Everyone went,
All right.
So, Tori, you won the initiative.
I'm getting
and
the
who's
finger
going
guns
first?
at me. I'm getting
can you
pointed
do,
at me.
would it work this way?
Yeah, no, it would definitely work this
All
way.
right,
and I think
Malcolm,
I'm-
you're up.
I'm kind of ready here, and I just wanted to make sure which one I was doing.
You're
So,
talking about the future
I
of
am.
TTRPGs.
what's waiting in the wings?
Oh.
In TTRPG land, I owe, I'll say it right now, a resource list and a plug that before this comes out will be part of the episode, but I lost Guy's name. Had a great article. I know, I'm claiming it now, so we don't have any trouble on the back end. It'll be out there at the time of this.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good deal.
publishing. So, what it kind of looked at was where it's going. In a lot of ways, this seemed kind of natural to me, but it also is very, very interesting to me what is different about how TTRPGs are moving now versus when we started playing them, and what's important to the people that are in the community. And this was kind of a reflection of that. And it kind of looked at a few different segments of it, which is, you know, the tech differences and how they impact. And I think those are kind of the most obvious. But kind of the heart of the game and what really matters for people to pick up and what makes them want to play, kind of paneled some indie game designers. And the gentleman runs a pretty neat website where he interacts with a lot of these folks that are doing that and tells the story of how these smaller projects become names that you would know in the indie game market. But talks a lot about players and designers wanting to see representation. And
Yeah.
it's just kind of reflection of what people want to see in the real world. They want to see and have access to different ethnicities, cultures, lifestyles, of course, but not just in the characters. And that's where I kind of thought, you know, it's obvious. Absolutely. I think that's part of what is going on that's so good in the community right now. But I did think that was obvious. But they also don't just want it for their characters and their NPCs and their worlds. They want it in their playing style. They want to be able to control more of the narrative game. And this is going to be something that kind of comes up as we go through this, but it's become important to have a different level of agency almost, where you would find your GM as your world weaver or story weaver or guide along a path. And a lot of what's happening at the table helps build the narrative, but there is somebody who's bringing you to those situations and explaining them, where you see a departure from that, where people are asking for different things in the game. A lot of really interesting stuff. Once again, cultures. It just kind of goes back to that people are asking for more real world in their gaming now, and that the old Arthurian, high fantasy, European sort of high game setting is being moved away from, especially in the indie space a lot, to answer some of those questions that we did on a previous episode about, hey, what book, what world would you want turned in? And you've got a lot of people going away from what we recognize, especially in high fantasy and that D&D and in adjacent settings.
So what are some of the ways you talk about people want variety and agency and how they come to the game? What are some examples?
One of the examples, and I don't want to skip too far ahead, but it's one of the things that I drilled down on and will do a little bit more on is the concept of, well, two concepts really. And one is solo play, where people are taking a TTRPG experience provided through either one person, one-on-one, or more often solo themselves, where it's an AI or pre-created narrative adventure. And there's a lot of reasons for that. I will get into that more. But even more than that, you're seeing this move away from mechanics, where the younger generations coming up do not like the rules heavy, the math heavy, and the statistical growth, as much as they want a story, and a story that they
want to tell a story.
They want the RP way more.
And a lot of what people are saying is these are your video gamers coming back with main character syndrome, that when they move the toggle left, the character goes left, and that there is agency in that story. But go ahead.
Okay,
yeah.
Sorry. So this gets me thinking, and I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts on it, is by definition, still tabletop role-playing game. I get that. But especially when you talk about solo play, is this the same game? Or is it something different? Not good or bad.
I very, very clearly, for me, it's a different game.
It's a different game.
The game that I learned was not only inherently, but built in the rules and the metrics to be social. It took a group of people interacting, and usually that was face-to-face because that's what the technology allowed for at the time. I think that when that group element is broken, I think that you just have a different transactional game.
Yeah, like I
not
guess,
the same at all.
You
right.
can
Like
role-play.
I think about how we have to now say TTRPG,
Not just RPG.
not just RPG, because there's a distinction between sitting at the table playing the game and playing an RPG game, video game, or something like that. Now, when
Fable.
when TTRPG started, it wasn't necessarily a distinction that had to be made because we didn't have all the video games and digital content like that. So I guess I'm sort of wondering if this is another juncture where things split, and I would really love to hear Jess's take on it, because out of all of us, Jess is the most experienced in the RPG video game world. So to that question, I guess, is, do you see this as the same thing, or do you see this as maybe just another fork in the road?
Okay, so we've got
the idea of like a future where TTRPGs become, I'm just taking the one example you gave a couple, but
Sure.
One example, which is solo play, where people are playing TTRPG by themselves.
Okay, so me alone, I'm both player and GM, and I'm running myself.
Or
through
AI
things.
is GM.
And that's what you're seeing in its latest iteration, is that you have apps and you have downloads where they will take you through.
You're chatting it up with ChatGPT, and he's taking you through.
And they call them dialogue, or sometimes it's cards. You'll get cards, and it's almost a choose-your-own-adventure narrative story where you get to play your character.
Okay, so to me, that feels like a slightly less digital version, or slightly less visual version of just a RPG video game. because it's just me and something else that's not a person guiding me through that, whether it's cards or ChatGPT or
a computer program, right?
Computer program or a book that's choose your own adventure, whatever that is. Like that because it's just me and something that's not a person guiding me through it. Mm-hmm. That to me lumps together with RPG video game, because that's what that is. It's me, and the game system is, the mechanics of the game is the GM.
Did they discuss at all a distinction of what would make this solo gameplay different than video gameplay?
And I think that it's narrative. That's the word that keeps coming up, is that you get to tell the interactive software or AI things, and it gets to interpret them as a GM would, and from there further construct out what could be a unique story, which is different than a video game. And you're right, the visual element. So people that enjoy that randomness of choice, but there's a lot of video games that are based on that, and they're known as narrative RPG games.
Yeah. There are a lot of games that have like different endings,
right?
But there are only, you can only program in so much in a video game, though.
Right?
Correct.
It's still got to be
where AI does not have those constraints and can continue to extrapolate to the ends of the internet.
Yeah, and it can be more tailored to you specifically.
And if it's written well, it can. Yes, absolutely. It can give you a unique experience, I think. And what they came back to on this, and I guess I'm doing the next segment in this segment is that there were a lot of reasons for its initial prominence, and then there's a lot of reasons why it hasn't gone away and is growing. But you talked a lot about the video games.
Yeah, and just because, and even though that solo play with, say, an AI, I mean, that sounds actually really awesome for me to do in my free time. But I'm still, no matter what, going to want to play TTRPGs because of that social element to it. Like
the table is the thing.
And that's sort of where I come around to, is that I think it sounds very intriguing. I think it's, especially when you're talking about situations where people, I don't know how often I see in the community, people are like, hey, we want to play, but I don't have access to anybody who wants to play, or, different stuff like that you can at least still play the game. But it does feel to me as a distinctly separate type of game.
It's almost
Tori?
yeah.
I was going to say it sounds well, and the mechanics are the bones of D&D, right?
Right.
And you can homebrew all you want, but you're still using the mechanics because it's the 20.
How do you play a game without rules?
Well, I mean, that's the part. I don't know.
You have to roll.
You have to have something.
There's times where you roll, just like your Baldur's Gate and your video games. I imagine that there is the element that you are playing the game.
Okay, and like skill checks and all that crap.
Absolutely, and you get to respond in ways.
I was like, you just said crap about mechanics. Wait a second.
I backed up. I said it, and I was like, nah, no, because skill checks are fun.
So let me move on a little bit, because I really think that we're soaking the gravy of another episode into the bread right now. But I wanted to touch on the video games to move to the point of where they see this going. And you see VTT right now, and it's
virtual
good.
Tabletop,
and you can get some very high quality images and play in some areas.
It's
and
really
maps.
cool.
The next thing that they want to do is just put you in the world at scale, VR and
VR.
And
okay, now I will say VR with your people.
that would be
Like
that would be fun.
That actually would be really cool. Now, I don't know if you can still call it a TTRPG, but maybe.
I think that's a different game. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's once again, if
that would
it's
be
lazy-
hilarious.
Can you imagine
I could be
all of us?
Nori.
Oh my gosh, that would be so cool.
I was like, dude, the purest table that I have is just gonna be like, yeah, maybe for the kids, but for us, you hunker down. You're like, do we have lasers as well? Because we could
Imagine a Toria in VR.
stop it now.
I have my violin. I actually have a violin,
Right?
a real violin that I can actually play.
Imagine
Like, I can
Raya
add
on
it
a
and-
dragon.
So
Spark flying through. Oh my gosh. I'm
Tori's
so
just
geeking
like
out.
murder. There could be so much murder.
I can light things on fire.
No.
Backstab.
It doesn't exist anymore. Those mechanics are gone. Damn it.
I didn't realize that there was a.
Imagine if you actually had to sneak up on people in a VR set.
Oh my gosh.
Instead of a
Somebody
skill
was-
check,
give me a
you
fucking
actually had to
dice.
try.
Somebody knows about this, and they say that it's out there. It is just in very small scale. I think you're going to see it at like Universal, maybe. And that's just a guess.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Hey, they have
introduce it.
Xanthar there.
Yeah, because they're building out the D&D
They already
world there.
have Xanthar there.
Yeah.
So I think that would maybe a scale where they could introduce something
Yeah.
like that because they want it fully immersive and you to be able to do something. Then boom, you've got a spell slot gone in effect, much like the VTT, but you're wearing it and you're in it. So moving us along because it gets pretty interesting when they talk about the impact of the companion apps. And there's a bunch of them out there that you can use to keep track of your character, your stories. Some of them are on the big boy website, Beyond, but they're just ways to streamline and almost have an assistant for your character and or story.
Oh, I always go back to Beyond.
I know.
And these are
Or
going
there's
to,
wikis too.
And that's what they're talking about is that this space is moving at a very rapid rate.
Yeah.
And as AI is bleeding into everything, the ability to walk into game session, Beyond's up, your favorite
Yeah, and we're doing that.
is up,
We're doing that too.
and then you feed in information to your AI assistant as it happens in the game.
That's intriguing.
There's a lot that are out there, and they're saying that they're returning immersion to players by being able to take on this administrative level of tasks for the hit point management, even down to the dice rollers. That it's easier for somebody to get the experience of D&D with the modern player and get that immersion without having to keep track of bonuses, armor class,
So
quads for
I will
THAC0.
say I can see the argument for having your computer up with, say, your character sheet loaded into an AI generated tool that has all the guides and everything, knows all the rules. When you think about the amount of time we spend looking up the rule of a spell, or we look at, I don't know, whatever it might be, looking through rules, looking through mechanics, I can see some argument for, hey, let the AI do it. They'll do it a lot faster. Even if it's simply not them making a choice, but it's I want to cast Fireball.
Sure.
What are the rules around that? Instead of let me flip through the book or let me do it on the search engine real quick. It's, hey, AI tool, what are the rules for Fireball?
When I cast a spell, bring up the, and I think that it's easy. And what they're touting it as, and I don't think they're trying to hoist it as this is the way you have to play, but they're touting it as an accessibility issue to people that would otherwise not feel like they could engage with the game.
Interesting.
You get a whole lot of...
I don't want to stop rolling my dice, though.
Right.
Like that's the crazy part. Like I will come to table with my computer. I will have Beyond up for my character sheet. I actually have gotten to the point where I prefer that, just because it's easier than erasing and crossing out and whatever that we used to have to do on the paper sheets. But
It also lays out what you can do.
and it lays out what I can do. But I know I can click that roll however many D20 on that app, but I want to pick up my dice. I want to shake them. I want to roll them. I want to hear them.
It's interesting
Click,
because...
clack.
And Jess is like, nah, just use the computer.
Well, for the most part, for myself as a player, I do use the digital dice. It's just, I didn't grow up with D&D. I've only been introduced to it after all of these tools already existed.
Sure.
So, but the only time, like, I really wish that I could really use digital dice, or not digital dice, like real dice, is that table that I'm the DM for.
Right.
Which is...
Because you can't, because it's all virtual.
Well, because it is all virtual, so I do have to roll digitally.
Do they see it?
Is that
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
They
then
can't
fuck it. You can do.
Well, no, I can do it however I want. But the thing is, it's not that I want to roll the physical dice necessarily. It's that I want them to experience the fear
of the D.
hearing the DM roll what sounds like 100 D20s, and you don't
she
know what's
hasn't learned
coming.
the DM from us.
So,
They don't get that because I can't I could create the sound, but like the way the computer setup is, like I can't play that sound for them.
I would go a step further and say you also can't. Maybe you could look up over and just
the screen.
There's something to be in live for that.
I don't have a DM screen. Like,
Because you've got the computer.
I'm
You
on
can't
Zoom.
see
Come
anything.
into frame and go out of.
Yeah, it's like, I'm just on Zoom, so it's my other.
Look down at a notebook.
It's like one monitor is the video call, the other monitor is my.
Yeah, you miss out on
Pretend
some
to
of the
dial
best
911.
DM moves.
Bring up the hands.
Right.
Oh, what is it?
I like to do it after one of those blasé responses. So, what are we all doing? I don't know. I'm sharpening something. I'm probably looking for gold. I was awesome.
What the fuck happened?
I want to move us along because we're having too much fun. What they're really coming back with is that there's going to be more favor to this narrative design where you're literally removing the GM role and you are doing a collaborative storytelling that is either AI assisted or not, and that everyone has that world building agency to the point that world building, like we're talking about dice rolling, guys,
right.
and we're talking about the ability to get spell effects up in efficient time. World building, AI, they're just doing it. Just type it in.
And I get the ability there, and I get the attractiveness when you think about how challenging it can be to find GMs to play. So like if you've got a table who wants to play and nobody wants to GM and you don't have another GM around, like I can see where could be even a need for something like that. But I don't know. It just takes something out of the game.
It's important to discuss it.
I wish we had visual. Everybody should see Tori's face.
It goes against what our mandates are about, welcome to the table and be at the table. And it sounds like there's a group of players that don't want the table. Once again, I'm leading here, but it's the fact that there's no personalities, there's no schedule conflicts,
right.
There's no problem players, there's no,
but there's no sociality.
It's bespoke, yeah. But you're talking about a group of people, and this is once again we'll get into it. COVID couldn't get around each other. For some people, that was all right. For some people, they were cool to go on. Different apps and do it.
VTTs like totally took off during COVID because you could play.
Sure.
Yeah, I was playing a great
Roll20.
game, had been playing a great game, and it died.
And
have not gotten back together.
Think about
with
the fact that people started asking for payment. So now, if you want this professional experience, how often do we use AI for things that you used to need to consult professionals for, or maybe paid a few bucks to somebody that knows something?
Right, no.
And now they're replacing it. They're outmoding it and the cost. And what they see is the social inconvenience with a bespoke, tailored, ultimately player-informed game.
So I'm intrigued. So just to throw out there, Jess and I both write professionally. And this is AI as a topic, obviously a very hot topic in the world of professional writing. And just around what AI can do as a tool, and is it capable of replacing the human writer and there's all that discussion out there. I'm not taking us totally off track. I'm trying to make the point of I'm looking at Jess. We've had a lot of conversation and a lot of research and a lot of discussion about how AI can be used and leveraged, whether it should be, in what ways it should be, and where it falls short. And really, in our experience, what we come back to is AI is a great tool for a lot of things, but it's still a tool. And when you don't have that human element, you lose. You definitely lose. And so that would be my concern about only playing at a table with an AI GM.
Yeah, because what I've found, like,
The bad licorice face on Tori is just, it doesn't let up. It intensifies as we go. Sorry, just to interrupt you, but we are not on camera. It's so good.
Okay, Jess.
Go.
Please, I'm sorry.
In my experience, and I've had to actually experiment a lot with AI for a particular client of mine, which I'm very grateful for because it means I know how to use it, and know when and how to use it appropriately. But like what I've found is that it's really good at like small things, like little details, but it kind of isn't great about like an overarching narrative. Like it loses track of the thread of things after a while. Like it just can't look far enough back in your history of engaging with it to remember those details.
And it also loses originality after a while.
Yeah.
When you've used it over and over and over again for something, you start recycling. Mm-hmm. And that would be my concern with using it for a GM.
If we're calling it a tool, and any other tool, just like our Google or our modules or anything else, has limitations to it. Mm-hmm. And it should. I don't want to jump into that huge debate. I really don't. But I think that if we all huddle quietly around our books, nobody's going to hoist this on us. But you can see an emerging preference for a younger gaming community. Bird,
no,
get it off. I know.
Get it off.
If
get it
we
off
don't
your
talk
chest.
about it, then we're going to
go Gen X or go.
No.
And why no?
Because even if
losing?
Okay. I like having the rules to give it structure.
Guidelines.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, but it's something.
If it's an algorithm, if it's a computer, it's no longer a guideline.
No.
It's a rule.
Which, being around a table, I like with your friends is so much better. And even if you do it freaking remote,
Right.
you're still with those people and there's still I don't like the idea. I'm good with the storytelling, but we do that. And we do that really well.
I think you could shade your game more narratively at any point in history. You're just seeing once again when you read this, and I will credit the article. I will credit the gentleman Art that wrote it, and his website will get a cool plug in the notes of this. But it speaks to a preference. It is this is sort of coming. Is that this is what you're going to see because the people that are tuned in, and we're over time, and I apologize, but the people that are tuned in are the indie developers that are listening to the people, and this is what the people want. Now, one thing that I wanted to bring up when we're talking about AI, we got to bring in the big boys, and we got to bring in Beyond. And for another time, Project Sigil.
They killed it.
Which is the first thing that I knew Tori was going to say when I said Project Sigil.
It's
but
dead.
it was their attempt with, I believe, Unreal Engine 5 to build the mother of all AI-driven.
They killed it.
VTT, one shop, absolutely immersive, open world, build anything. It was going to be the answer for everybody, drown out the market. And the shaking of the head of my colleague is yeah.
Nope.
I don't know that it is officially scrapito.
I think it is.
But I know that it is not going forward as planned.
They're not building it.
And there's reasons for that. I'm sure I didn't get into them, but if the big boys are saying, if they're putting their chips down on that, if the bros are funding something with that sort of team size, that's a big swing at the future.
I think the big thing that hits for me is how many episodes we have had where we've talked about what is coming to be recognized as the benefits of TTRPG gaming is that, so many things about the sociality, the teamwork, learning how to work with people, the therapeutic pieces, the so many benefits to sitting down at a table, virtually or not, with other people and playing these role-playing games. What concerns me about this conversation is that a lot of those benefits, I believe, would be lost. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm not saying, oh, this shouldn't happen.
Mm-hmm. That's the way you want to play.
I just think it should. It's a separate fork.
And I can see where somebody could use those tools and still bring those resources to a table of people.
Yes.
So it
Use it
does
as a
not mean
tool.
that you have to sit there and plug in and you can no longer be social. Just the instrument of AI showing up on that scale sort of lends to a response to a community of what people want.
Yeah, it's like I wouldn't mind giving it, some of these new things a try.
Sure.
I would just replace take the time that I would be spending reading or playing a video game and use that time for trying that out. I would not replace my in-person with
Game
my
time.
friends. Like it
Good
would never
point.
replace that because I want to play a TTRPG with my friends. That's
At
part
the
of the
table.
point is
Come to the
that-
table.
Yeah, that intersection of we're gonna have this fun game, but we're also hanging out with my friends.
Yeah.
And doing it with my friends is the whole point of it. I might replace a video game with it with other stuff though. But
Very cool. Well, that was really fun conversation. I'm really
thanks.
glad you brought that to the table.
I appreciate it. I think that we're going to come back from.
Yeah. So when we come back, Tori's
My
gonna
turn.
get her turn at the mic to lead us through some stuff, and it's gonna connect a little bit here because now, and I'm probably gonna pull some of it in because mechanics and AI tools, sort of an interesting conversation. So we're going to take a break and we will see you or hear, you'll hear us. I can't speak today. You will hear
We'll be
us when we get back. Thanks.
This episode of Finding a Tori is brought to you by Wordleaf Media. The Finding a Tori podcast is looking for guests for our upcoming episodes. Are you or someone you know passionate about the TTRPG community and have a story to share? If so, contact us on our socials or reach out at wordleafmedia.com/findingatoria. And now back to your program.
Hey guys, welcome back to Finding a Toria. Just had our lovely little break after discussing the future of TTRPGs.
Yeah.
And all my faces.
Yes, and all of Tori's faces.
the many faces of Tori.
maybe we should talk about this again and have a camera.
Camera,
No.
right? I know.
So we can do a
I
little
really wish
video
we'd had
and,
a recording.
stick that on Patreon or something.
It really looked like a confusing bite of food. It was not. It did not sit well, obviously.
No.
But now Tori gets to talk about one of her favorite topics.
Yes, I do.
So bring us into mechanics.
Okay, so I love learning the way games work. I haven't gotten to 2024, but I'm got a really good grasp on 2014.
And I should have done a better. We're gonna focus on Dungeons and Dragons mechanics.
Yeah,
correct?
with this.
Okay.
I know more about that.
Sure.
But I have a question. What is your favorite mechanic in the game?
Ooh. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hard one. Choose
Yep.
someone else to go first.
No, there's three of you. The question goes to all of you.
That's so.
I
rude.
know.
We had
THAC0.
so much time.
No.
So much time to discuss this before, and I feel pantsed over here. Jess, any ideas? I can't.
Oh, that rivals Tori's
we've-
faces.
Yeah, right?
The many faces of Finding a Toria. God, don't look at me. I initially, I don't know if it's simpleton, but when I learned how chain lightning worked as a spell when I started playing, I thought that was pretty darn cool.
Yeah, I mean,
with that.
that's a good one.
I thought of mine now.
What is it?
Fireball.
No,
Sorry.
that might be my favorite spell. But
Yeah, whoopty shit. Back to Star Wars. Somebody's thumb slipped. God. You'd think they would practice this shit.
does the wizard's spell book and how that works count as a mechanic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Just magic
it's
in the
bones,
game.
it's guidelines.
The fact that there's technically, when playing as a wizard, there's technically no limit to the number of spells I can put in that spell book. I could role play, all right, my character wants to go to the library and we're going to read every spell book we can until we get all of these spells in there. Or I can buy scrolls at a store or something, and I could over 20 levels.
Time, yeah.
It would take some time, and I would have to have my character do that. But
But the fact that you
The
have
fact
a
that I
spell
could.
And where
now,
are
it might be
every-
too large for you to carry around.
and it's not going to be one library. That's what's so cool about it, is if you GM that for a second, these tomes are found all over interdimensional places.
Yeah, and we did that with Ellen. Like to you have to go to this city to visit this wizard's tower to learn the information that you want to learn. Yeah,
But just the fact that I could make it a personal mission to learn every spell that isn't like nature or divine or whatever, like any spell that a
Send her
wizard,
to another dimension.
anything that like any arcane spell that a wizard can actually learn, like I could actually collect them all.
So magic.
Pokemon.
Catch them all.
Right, yes, exactly. The fact that I can do that,
I choose you, Fireball.
teleport, just like that is so cool. Like as a wizard, I can do that.
That collection
I want a
of
Pokeball
Arcana.
fireball. Like she has a Pokeball. Fireball, I choose you.
And when you pull it out, it tells you exactly how big the room is.
You're gonna kill all your friends.
You get a detailed breakdown of the
Please,
size
for
of the
God's
volume
sake,
of the room.
make sure I'm a level 7
Oh my
if you
God.
lob that fucker.
That is great. That is fantastic.
All right, I love that. My favorite mechanic, I was pondering. I think initiative. How combat plays out. And I know a lot of people are trying to speed the game up and be like, hey, let's just roll one for the party. I love individual initiative. I think it makes the fighting more realistic. That you have to, you may or may not get to react in regards to how the bad guy, responded. You may have to go first.
That's the whole. Yeah, if everybody ducks the club they see coming.
Right.
You know what I mean? And until you're just hit.
And yeah, so I really do. And when I was playing with Jess, I roll individual initiative for my monsters.
And then if you do that, you need one of the initiative tables.
Yeah, and I do. I have a notebook, and I'm sitting here going, okay, 1 gets this, and 2 gets that, and I will have a big, list of who goes when.
Yeah.
But I like how that makes the battle play out differently.
And I think because of playing with you, I actually do prefer it when it is kind of staggered instead of, all right, all of this faction go and then all of this side go.
It's more realistic, right?
It is.
Yeah.
But as a DM, there is a limit to how many times I am willing to roll initiative separately. So if there's like more than a certain number, fuck it, I'm just doing it in one batch.
Yeah, there is definitely an argument for doing like the group versus
Batch,
the
yeah.
monsters.
Yeah.
I've played that way myself. It is easier a lot of ways, but
I think you do lose something. Yeah.
You do lose something.
Because that's not usually how battles are going to. It's not the OK Corral. We're not going to line up over here and Jeff, wait your turn. It's going to, things are going to happen more. But I think it is one of the original bogs of classic gameplay from 1E forward is, okay, it's you versus, at some point you have to have like enemy parties of 20 or more just to challenge the group. Then you're like, all right, who else has a 4? All right, the 4s are going to roll again. Then like 4 hours later.
Yeah. but when you play like as a group initiative, Nori and Idri have been taking advantage of this, is that Idri knows Nori's assets well enough to be like, I'm standing close to Nori and engaging something, and so that Nori has the advantage of
Sneak attack.
Whereas if we are rolling individually, I may or may not get to have that move first.
Correct. So it does not allow you to maybe plan and synergize in the same way it would not for monsters with lair actions and with toadies, that they're sending in waves and, okay, what is now a good time to pop the spell because I have the option to pop the spell at the good time. It speeds up gameplay. It optimizes, gives potential to do things that would rarely align on a per character initiative. Sorry.
Yeah. No. So anyway, that's why initiative.
Who else is not said that?
Me.
I haven't heard. From Tori.
I'm sorry. who
Cunning
else is
action.
not-
Okay. Why? We named it. Why?
Cunning action because it gives you the and this is you should have known that it was going to be one of the rogue
Of
mechanics. But I like it because that's the one that gives you the ability to dodge, dash, disengage on your bonus action. So that one lets the rogue free, basically. And it's a mechanic. Well, and that's the thing. Rogues are traditionally kind of squishy. So they make them.
Nori.
She's still wearing leather armor.
He's got to get past the cross maces to touch it, for sure. You tell your
She's
story,
got,
Mama.
yeah, she got some. But the fact that, okay.
Your
so
point is still correct.
Yes. Yes. It is.
like, I like the way it works because.
rogues need to be able to slip in and slip out.
Right. And rogues don't have second hits. You have to do some serious things to get a second attack as a rogue.
Well, that's
Right.
because what you get to roll when you
Right.
get that sneak attack.
Right,
and
right,
shit,
right.
man. Like you kill things in one shot all the time.
And that's the thing, though, is that you picture some of those more well-known animated examples where a Scanlan slides right between the bad guy's legs, sword raised, and you're stuck in that spot. Where this gets you, I can dash.
I can dash, I can dodge, and I can disengage.
And
So
it-
you can run in, stab somebody as long as you have more movement left,
Stabby,
and
stabby.
then disengage.
Right.
I tend to not use my bonus action for those three things, but those three things are possible. Because there's other things you can do with your bonus.
What do you like to do with your bonus action, Tori?
Hit somebody again.
I knew what she's going to say before I
Hit somebody
asked what
again.
she's going to say.
Because you can take feats that'll get
You're
you
like,
there.
I brought all these fuckers. I bet.
But okay, but yeah, the cunning action with the rogue, I like that a lot. I do like the bonus action movement.
yes.
And when I was DMing, it was like, what are you doing? What's your action? Okay, bonus. Where are you moving?
Yep. Get three and move.
Yeah.
And if you do it like that, and you can, and it's kind of interesting because it goes back to what we were talking about, might talk about again, is that difficulty in getting the random or how to slog through the per character initiative. They got tools for that. They're happy, they're happy to track that and ping you off and do that. And that's where some of the people that are the proponents of this are saying, hey, you can do that and you can still have smooth game operation. So sorry, the
That's
conversation.
okay.
I'm just kicking up shit. I want.
But that brings, we had a conversation during the break. Surprise, surprise. We talk. But is this idea that in the early modules, manuals, player handbooks,
Guideline.
that it was very specifically called out that the rules that were provided are guidelines. And we've talked about this on the show before. But when you start bringing in computers and you load the rules into computers, those are no longer guidelines.
They're rules.
They're rules. And I do see that becoming more and more of a trend when you see so many people arguing that you need to play raw, because when you're using a tool, even like Beyond, if you're not going into the home brewing and different stuff like that, it's you are kept within the boundary of those rules if you want to use those tools.
Yeah.
Jess is
I'm sorry. I just now realized that raw equals
Rules
rules
as
as
written.
written. Like, I'm just imagining it's like, okay, raw is in like before cooking. Okay, it's before
Nope.
any changes have been made. Okay, but oh my
Rules
God.
as written.
Like, I'm a words nerd. How did I not know this? Oh my God.
Rules as written.
Yeah, no, I got it. I got it now. Oh my God. I love that.
Change is raw for you, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Oh, jeez. Okay.
People like playing D&D raw.
I like to play raw.
I mean, I knew it was. I knew it meant like before changes were made. I didn't know. I didn't put it together that it stood for like specifically rules as.
Oh no!
Oh my god! I wasn't picturing whatever it was that you were implying. I was thinking about it.
Don't worry, guys.
It's only the second episode today, too.
We can edit this out.
Why? We're not
Why?
going to.
But
We're not going
gonna.
to.
Why would we do that?
That's silly. All right.
That was a beautiful moment on Finding a Tori.
Okay.
Bring us back
right,
around
yep.
again.
Okay, so what is... so we got everybody's favorite mechanics, right? What is the one mechanic that you see homebrewed to fix? Because there is one that is notorious for getting changed because it is very confusing.
THAC0. I mean, sorry.
No.
We're in 5e.
5e. No.
It's like involuntary over there.
THAC0.
I don't even know what THAC0 is.
Armor class 0.
All right.
That's what it said. 2-hit armor class 0.
It's a 2.
was-
It's a 1 and
There's
2.
no reason why anyone should
rule.
expect her
No,
to
you
know
wouldn't
that.
know THAC0.
I've never interacted with the second edition of the game.
Yeah, I know.
thought she hit her. I thought she reached over and slugged her. It wasn't
you
going to
not
be your
know
fault.
THAC0?
I thought that there were... Oh, my goodness. She's like, this is wrong. No. It came to blows on this episode.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh. So it is an
Very old rule that
It's
is
an old
very
rule.
confusing
That
to
is
people, so they got rid of it.
famous for 5e players looking down upon because they look at it as an inverse metric and the wrong way to get to an armor class setting.
And that's
But it
where our
wasn't.
brains think.
You know
Because
what?
that's what
Upside
we...
down.
No, that's how I
That's how
explained
we
it too.
learn
The
to
quick
play.
hand flip.
Yeah, it's a quick.
This
That's
one.
all it is.
You just turn it, and they're like, "Okay, hey, have a seat. We're gonna bring you a hot pocket and a blanket, because it's nap
I need
time."
a blanket.
I do. I'm just like, all right, we'll make it a calzone, and I'll say, but yeah. And they're like, no, it's okay. Yeah, no, I got the shirt.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, I want a THAC0 shirt.
Okay. Okay.
I do too. Actually,
Thank you.
yeah, that was
Merch.
the weirdest. That was the weirdest mechanics flip I ever did because I never.
love THAC0.
I didn't play 3.5 or 4.
Right.
Oh, rolling up a character for the first time and it's like armor class 18. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm naked. How is it I have leather armor and why is my armor class so
I
high?
got chainmail on and my dex is amazing.
Got an entire generation of people glitching to old Nirvana albums. Supposed to be -2.
Yep.
I don't want to play this anymore. It was terrible. Oh my gosh.
Okay, our least favorite.
Least favorite.
Derailed and on
Well,
fire.
and I can tell you the one that I have seen homebrewed
Yes.
18 billion times and people get confused.
Did you count all of those?
Yes.
Okay.
I was very busy in my spare time. It's the casting a spell on your bonus action.
Oh, you can trip.
Right.
Wow, you didn't just.
But people homebrew that all the time.
Sure.
That they can, or
Yep,
that
that
they
you can pop off a
Then
second
you can
full
pop
spell.
up a second full
well,
spell.
You can if you do it right.
You can if you have bonus spells that you set up.
Let me ask you this. Can you cast one and then shoot one out of a wand or totem?
You could
If
do
you're
that
not
as an-
maintaining concentration.
what you can do is you can use it as an action, then you can bonus action a spell, especially if you're just wielding a wand because you're not using a spell slot.
Right.
You're not casting.
That
you
would be
are
your action.
discharging a
It's,
spell.
That would be
no
your
different than
action.
like
It's
shooting.
canned magic.
Yeah.
Right. That would be your action, and then you would have bonus action.
You can
But you can't cast twice in a turn.
No. Well, you can,
Yes, you
but it
can.
has to be, you have to use a cantrip.
You
Right.
you can do
You
a
can't cast a spell
non-concentration spell and a cantrip.
Right.
And I will
Absolutely.
tell you, Idri makes massive use of that.
Well, you
and
can
does
also upscale
significant damage.
some cantrips too, right?
Yeah.
Like you can cast some tiny shit at nth level, and now you're in business. So, yeah, I think that it's very rigid where it says, I can't do second level spell A and fourth level spell C in the same. I can't bonus action that second full spell slot.
But people will
They wanna be able to do
They
more.
want to be
'Cause
able to
it's
do the
badass.
two. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, so I play as a wizard, and something that I have been routinely frustrated by is my ability to literally just do one spell and then I'm done and I've got nothing else.
So you
Because
can do.
you need
could throw a
bonus spells.
cantrip as a bonus action.
I did not know you could do that.
Yeah.
Definitely
yeah,
can.
yeah.
But you can't.
You've been playing with me for 6 levels and no one told me this. Like I've
What
been
does
passing
raw
on that
stand
bonus
for?
action
Okay.
every time,
So,
and I didn't
okay.
know.
So as long as it's not a concentration spell, because you can't do a second spell.
Yeah,
if
no,
you're
you
concentrating.
can only.
If I'm thinking
Yeah.
about pizza, I can't think about burgers.
But so if you
can.
choose a cantrip and
Bad
a spell that
example.
isn't a concentration spell, you can do both of them in a turn.
Yeah. You can lob
No
cantrips.
one told me this.
So fireball
Read
and
the
firebolt.
Hey, calm down
I
over
asked
there.
about it too.
She wants to
and
light
was
everything
told,
on fire.
No, you can only do the one.
I do think early on I did. I think very early on I did tell you that rule purposefully.
And I just interpreted that as how it always is and never asked again. So Arcadia.
I was gonna say, I'm
and I was going to say, and I
surprised. To me,
probably
forever.
and so I probably forgot, to be honest, because it's been so long.
That was great how you just paused a little bit, be like, how much of an asshole? Nope.
You didn't notice Roy brought out spiritual weapon.
Yeah,
She was
but that's a
casting
cleric.
twice. Doesn't matter.
But she didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've never played a cleric before. I don't know.
Wow, we are like helping Jess learn so much about the game.
After you taught me wrong in the first place, like I've been
Purposeful for
doing.
the situation in which it happened.
I've been doing half the damage I could have been doing this whole
That
time.
arm came all the way across
and
the
it is
table.
your fault.
There it is again in hatchet form.
Because
Ooh.
Ellen has been so handicapped
I'm
and
pretty
incapable
sure
of doing. Ellen
the
kicks ass.
GM was
Not
right.
really. Like I'm watching everybody else do. Like I'm gonna one shot this thing with a. With assassinate and sneak attack, and then she does
She's like, come here,
okay,
give me
I'm
the
gonna
one
do-
arm and put it behind your back. Okay, we're gonna tie that. Oh, you're almost ready for the dragon.
I'm gonna throw fireball at this, and oh, whoops, okay, I hit for sure, but I do 2 damage. Great.
I think that these are some of the mechanics that we don't like about the game.
I'm the one that needs to be nerfed. Really? No.
All right. So,
Wow,
mechanics.
you never thought
Ones
you'd be in
you'd like to change.
What have you homebrewed that you're just like, no?
right around just about everything that people OP a monk about. I will remove that, and I will have a tough time bringing psionics well into my game. The
What does
psionic.
everybody have against psionics?
It is much like decking in Shadowrun. I find it's a non-adjacent role play to combat. You can cast a spell, shoot an arrow, swing a sword. You're there and you're physical. Where it's a mind attack that's almost done on a different plane. In my mind, I think that it's a different role source. It's a different.
Shay's a soul knife when we get to 3.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so what I really like is just adaptability and I've never been. How about that? Maybe it's not that I dislike them. I'm certainly not comfortable with them.
Yeah.
And I think the way that they've tried to buff monks and I love playing, probably a monk would be awesome, but I just think that you're trying to.
Monks are OP.
Yeah,
You're
they
trying
are.
to
Now
get
they-
the best little fun traits from other classes and just putting them into a dump stat model that can do things.
Evasion. Fuck you.
Yeah, the monkness is a little bit heavy for me, so I would probably, and I think I have in a game, just not nerfed, but just focus less on those things. And if a player really wants to push those, and I've got a key point for that, and if we're running that game, that's cool. I'll try to scale to it, but I just don't like how monks are monkeys. They're just untouchable.
All right.
So I have I'm not going to revisit my as a player pet peeve mechanic because it turns out that I was just taught wrong. I'm kidding. But anyway, as a DM, something that I have homebrewed is I honestly got rid of prepared spells.
Yeah, you were sharing
I just let the spell slots be the limitation because I guess narratively for me, it doesn't. I mean, I know there's a purpose behind this within the game, but like for me, narratively, it just doesn't make sense to like you forget all your spells and then you have to learn like some of them in the day. Like, just I guess from like I'm trying to imagine like reading this in a book where like the wizard forgets all their spells and has to relearn them every morning. Like that sounds really annoying. Who would become a wizard? So I just was like, you already have the limitation of you can only do so many because it's
Kinda
spell
like
slots.
an ammo slot for
Yeah, so like why bother limiting it again with
You're already-
this spell, but you can't use it this morning because you
Forgot
it. Like it doesn't make as much sense to me. And like, yeah, you already got a limitation. Let's just scrap the
I get
prepared
that.
spell thing.
I get that.
I think for me, it is something we hardly ever even touch, but it's some of the little things that inhibit the player, but I don't know. They don't have a huge impact on the game, so it's things like weight limits.
Encumbrance.
Oh,
You know,
but
things like
that's
that,
dropped.
you know?
We always drop that.
We do, but it is
It is-
mechanic,
it-
and
Yep.
I do know people that are playing it, they're gonna
Yep.
pull all that up and
Answer
no, you
it with
can't.
bags of holding and hold fasts,
Yeah.
and that's back at home, or that's and you're right. It is something that when you're role playing, it matters that you are a halfling and you have a rucksack
Full of
that Wraith couldn't carry 5
Yeah.
feet. And you're like, it's cool. We don't really track it. You're dead. Like it squished you and you're gone. But
And I do think that there is, instead of it being a flat rule, I think just common sense. You know, that if your halfling is like, I'm carrying 300 pounds of gear, that as a DM, you'd sort of be like, maybe not. You can't carry the horse. I'm sorry. But it just in general.
I think for both of them too, it's a situational thing too. Like it should matter at some point that they don't have prepared spells. Like when things are off to a point where they would not be able to just get their slots back after a rest, you can put in there, okay, something's happened. I don't know if you did dimensional travel or something like that and kind of use that as a hook point. And probably the same thing with the other. You know, where you just make it situational and apply it as a DM and instead of making it the hard fast.
You've handed out bags of holding to try and solve some of that.
Sure, but I think that you get also in those scenarios where like, all right, you've got to trudge uphill, and you're like, I'm trudging uphill. Are you really trudging
sure?
uphill? Like because
Sure?
you came out of the last town a little bit heavy on the load, so. Yeah, I think that you can role play them instead of integrating them as you got to check before you leave things. You can, I don't know.
Yeah. So,
Potions.
potions.
Is it an action? Is it a bonus action?
Good point.
This is one of the most homebrewed rules too.
I mean, if you're playing Final Fantasy, it's an action.
Well,
your little white mage
It's
has to
supposed to be.
choose.
Here's the thing: it's supposed to be an action, but a lot of DMs will drop it so it's a bonus action to.
Okay, so I look at the physical move. You are taking something that you have to judge with your hands on how you're going to hold, what it's made out of, so that you know how to address it. And take any other time, you're going to take a drink. We're talking 6 seconds. You're trying to imbibe something intentionally.
And you've already taken an action.
You don't get your potion.
Yeah, I think that plus it's a potion. And if it's going to take effect as a potion does, to me, it puts it on a level of a medium level spell, at least for most of them, even healing. That's an action.
I think we all need to, be taken to the forest and get the resurrection pills.
I wonder what Raw would say.
It's an action.
It's an action.
It's an action, is what it is.
Pop it in your mouth.
There
Yeah.
you go.
It's-
the resurrection forest. The little
Yeah,
blue flower.
it's an action. It's to
but it's
homebrewed.
It's
a lot
homebrewed.
of a lot of people say that you can do it as a bonus action.
especially if there
I
is
do.
a role play need to
And
get that
I
in.
think that's the piece of it is,
Right.
you can look at, okay, what would be reality, what in essence here, but then you can also just simply look at where do I want to fall as a GM? Do I want to make certain that my players have the opportunity to get healed, while still maintaining the fight, or
Tell
do-
me how you do it.
do I wanna make it harder?
An arrow's incoming. All right. Well, I've got a high dexterity. What I'd like to do is tuck and roll underneath the arrow while opening up the potion in my hand and come up. You know what I mean? Like,
just popped that sacred cheese into my mouth.
I know. I'm like, well, it'd be
The
a really
cheese
difficult.
could probably be bonus action.
right?
You'd
You don't
probably
have to take a lid off or
somersault.
nothing. You just reach in your pocket.
Is that a bit of cheese? Looks like I'll be all right. Just running down the valley, throwing curds at one another. Curds of healing, curds of love.
So yeah, I was gonna say
Cheese wheels
there's
in
there's
5 seconds. Right?
lots of mechanics that can be adjusted all the time. People homebrew all the time. If you like playing rules as written, great. Then that's if you find a table that fits.
Yep.
But once again, these are guidelines.
Yeah.
And there's
And-
some points in time where when you're playing the game and you realize it doesn't work as well.
No. So all of the mechanics, I love the mechanics, right? I love them. But you have to be able to fit it to the table.
Right.
If everybody in that group says that a potion's a bonus action and the DM is completely cool with that, there's the thing.
Right.
Don't demand homebrew out of your DM. If your DM doesn't want to do it, they're not going to do it.
Yep. Well, that's back to always our flow through everything is find your table.
And,
Yep.
and have that good session 0 where you can ask, hey, I'm
What
a
about
potion.
this?
I run with a lot of potions.
Can I cast a level
right?
spell?
Absolutely right. So it's one of those things that you can clear up. I like it a whole bunch.
All right, guys, thank you. This was really fun conversation today. Part
I've
1 and
learned
part
so
2.
much.
Tori and Malcolm, thank you for bringing our topics to the table today. We really appreciate it. Hey, guys, thanks for listening to Finding a Toria.
Yes.
Please interact with us. You can
Yay.
find us on Facebook and Instagram, and you can always find us at www.wordleafmedia.com/findingatoria. And you can see our Patreon button there. Touch the button.
Putting some new stuff out, you said?
I think that this week, because this week will
This
be
week.
the beholders.
Oh,
Very cool.
beholders
Very
behind
cool.
the scenes.
Even though
Patreon.
that's 2 weeks in a row they'll be extra.
That's awesome. Then now more than ever, get out to the Patreon.
All right. Thank you so much for listening.
Bye.
We love you guys.
Bye.